Today, we're talking about the 2024 presidential election. Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. Who's in the lead? We'll look at all the latest polling data from all 50 states to keep you informed. Get ready for a simple breakdown and analysis of where each candidate stands. Let's watch. West Virginia. In West Virginia, Trump holds a commanding lead, securing 61% of the vote, while Harris lags behind at 34%, Trump's 27%. Lead highlights the state's strong Republican tilt. In Maine, Kamala Harris is leading with 54% of the vote, compared to Trump's 41%, giving her a 13% advantage in this northeastern state. Florida. In Florida, Trump leads with 51%, while Harris follows with 44%, giving Trump a 7% lead. The Sunshine State remains a competitive battleground. South Dakota. In South Dakota, Trump has a substantial lead with 62%, while Harris trails with 32%, giving Trump a massive 30% advantage. Hawaii. Harris dominates in Hawaii with 58% of the vote compared to Trump's 36%, securing a 22% lead in the Aloha State. Vermont. Harris is crushing it in Vermont, leading with 70%, while Trump has only 29%, giving her a massive 41% advantage. Arizona. In Arizona, the race is tight, with Trump leading by just 2%, holding 47% of the vote, while Harris follows closely with 46%. This battleground state could go either way. Maryland. Harris is ahead in Maryland with 62% compared to Trump's 32%, giving her a 29% lead in this blue-leaning state. Michigan. In Michigan, Harris leads by just 1%, with 48% of the vote to Trump's 47%. This Rust Belt state remains a critical battleground. New Hampshire. Harris leads in New Hampshire with 51%, while Trump has 43%, giving her a 9% lead in this swing state. Oregon. In Oregon, Harris is ahead with 53%, while Trump holds 41%, giving her a 12% lead. Kansas. Trump leads in Kansas with 55% of the vote, while Harris follows with 39%, giving Trump a solid 16% lead in this traditionally red state. California. In California, Harris leads with 59% compared to Trump's 34%, giving her a 25% advantage in her home state. Delaware. In Delaware, Harris holds 56% of the vote, while Trump has 36%, securing her a 20% lead. New York. In New York, Harris leads with 54%, while Trump trails at 40%, giving her a 14% advantage in the Empire State. North Dakota. In North Dakota, Trump is dominating with 59% of the vote compared to Harris's 30%, securing a 29% lead. South Carolina. Trump leads in South Carolina with 51%, while Harris follows with 42%, giving him a 9% lead in this Republican stronghold. Nevada. In Nevada, Trump leads by just 1% with 47% of the vote compared to Harris's 46%, making it a highly competitive state. Alabama. In Alabama, Trump holds a strong lead with 58%, while Harris trails with 37%, giving Trump a 21% advantage. Georgia. Trump leads by 1% in Georgia, holding 48% of the vote, while Harris follows closely with 47%. Georgia remains a critical swing state. Illinois. Harris leads in Illinois with 55% of the vote, while Trump has 40%, giving her a 15% advantage. Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, Harris leads by just 1% with 48% of the vote compared to Trump's 47%. This key battleground state could go either way. Alaska. Trump holds a 7% lead in Alaska with 50% of the vote, while Harris follows with 43%. Oklahoma. In Oklahoma, Trump leads with 56% compared to Harris's 40%, giving him a solid 16% advantage. Nebraska. In Nebraska, Trump holds 54% of the vote, while Harris trails with 37%, giving Trump a 17% lead. Tennessee. Trump leads in Tennessee with 56%, while Harris has 35%, giving Trump a 21% advantage. Montana. In Montana, Trump holds a strong lead with 58% of the vote, while Harris has 39%, giving him a 19% advantage. Texas. In Texas, Trump leads with 50%, while Harris follows with 45%, giving him a 5% advantage in this critical battleground state. Washington. Harris leads in Washington with 56% of the vote, while Trump holds 35%, giving her a 20% advantage. Virginia. Harris leads in Virginia with 50% of the vote compared to Trump's 42%, giving her an 8% advantage. Iowa. Trump holds a 5% lead in Iowa with 49% of the vote compared to Harris's 44%. Connecticut. In Connecticut, Harris leads with 57%, while Trump holds 41%, giving her a 16% advantage. Rhode Island. Harris leads in Rhode Island with 57%, while Trump trails with 40%, giving her a 17% lead. Utah. Trump leads in Utah with 54%, while Harris follows with 38%, giving him a 16% advantage. Maine District 2 inches. Trump leads by just 1% in Maine's 2nd Congressional District, holding 48% of the vote compared to Harris's 47%. Missouri. Trump holds a 53% lead in Missouri, while Harris follows with 42%, giving him an 11% advantage. Arkansas. In Arkansas, Trump leads with 55% of the vote, while Harris trails with 40%, giving him a 15% lead. Idaho. Trump dominates in Idaho with 60% of the vote compared to Harris's 34%, securing a 26% advantage. Minnesota. Harris leads in Minnesota with 49%, while Trump holds 43%, giving her a 6% advantage. New Mexico. In New Mexico, Harris leads with 49%, while Trump holds 43%, giving her a 6% advantage. Wyoming. Trump holds a massive lead in Wyoming with 65% of the vote compared to Harris's 28%, giving him a 37% advantage. Massachusetts. Harris leads in Massachusetts with 61%, while Trump holds 32%, giving her a 29% advantage. Indiana. Trump leads in Indiana with 56% of the vote, while Harris follows with 40%, giving him a 16% advantage. Nebraska District 2 inches. In Nebraska's 2nd District, Harris leads with 50% of the vote compared to Trump's 41%, giving her a 9% lead. Pennsylvania. Trump holds a razor-thin lead in Pennsylvania with 49%, while Harris follows closely with 48%. This battleground state is too close to call. North Carolina. In North Carolina, Trump leads by just 2% with 48% of the vote compared to Harris's 47%, another critical battleground. Ohio. Trump leads in Ohio with 50%, while Harris follows with 44%, giving him a 6% advantage in this key state. Colorado. In Colorado, Harris leads with 53%, while Trump holds 41%, giving her a 12% advantage. Maine District 1 inch. Harris dominates in Maine's 1st Congressional District with 61% of the vote, while Trump trails with 34%, giving her a 27% lead. In the end, battleground states hold the power to shape the nation's future. With razor-thin margins and passionate voters, these key regions are where elections are won or lost, reminding us that every vote truly counts in the democratic process.